Ooh, good Sunday morning on the 28th of January. Glad to see everybody out there. Glad to watch some good videos and good VRs. I just got to do a shout out and a thank you to everybody. Hopefully I can keep this as short as I possibly can, but I just passed my 100 subscribers. And let me explain this. I've only been on YouTube as a presenter, blogger, whatever, on this channel. Been with YouTube since 2008, which, I had an account with them for that long, but never got on here and started posting videos, whatever you want to call them, broadcasting, whatever. So only 3 weeks ago, I started broadcasting and put the feelers out there and let people get a little know about me and what I'm about, what I like to do. There's a gazillion things I like to do. I'm one of those persons that picks up a hobby, start it, put some time and effort into it, buy supplies, do whatever, and then it gets put on the back burner after I get kind of bored with it. But not on the back burner to the point where I don't do something with it every once in a while. Main passions is I love hunting, fishing. I'll put that together in a camping. I like to go camping. I like the outdoors. I don't get out enough because of my situation right now. That's neither here nor there. One of my big time passions as growing up was the automobiles and hot rods. I was a freak for hot rods. So when I started driving, or before I started driving, put it that way, I'm not going to say when I started driving, but before license age, we'll put it that way, I picked up the habit of, back then in the 70s, you got to say this, I could pick up a $100 car, $50 to $100, somewhere in there, put a little bit of time and effort of my own time, not a heck of a lot of money back then, and have a pretty nice little get up and go. Mechanically, I could take care of them back in the stone age of points and condensers and then the electronic boxes and that type of stuff, that before the 80s hit us and took over with the computer age, that's what I want to say. And then we know what's happened there. Okay, enough about that. I had to give that up because of just finances. I couldn't afford to just keep filling them out. But one quick thing back to the history. Back in high school, I had 4 or 5 of them sitting in the yard, whichever had gas in it. Because like I said, I'd fix them up enough to where they were sound, drivable. I could go from Montana to New York or California and back in them, and they would survive the drive. I made sure of that. It may not look the best, but they could have if I had the finances back then. As a young man, family that my mom and dad, they didn't make a lot of money. So we didn't have a lot, but I was able to scrounge up a few dollars here and there and buy them. And like I said, let's get off of that. Next passion, hunting and fishing and the firearm sports. I'm talking about firearm sports to where it's quite amazing how my dad taught me one shot, one kill on my hunting side of it, how to fish, how to be patient when you're fishing and catch fish. My dad was a man that could buy what he was doing. He kept his family fed, and that was one way of it. We all hunted. We all got as many tags as we could get every year. So we hunted all the time. So we lived off the land, a little bit of a garden, a little bit, maybe some chickens, maybe pig or two every once in a great while. And we survived. So then I got into back then on my hunting and that type of stuff, it was all factory ammo. What little bit of reloads that we got were that somebody gave us, and it wasn't much on that. But my very first firearm that I picked up, my dad gave me to shoot, was my grandfather's 300 Savage. And I don't know how many one-shot kills that I did with that. So the bug bit me back then, where my dad learned something that he taught me how to pick out the animal, how to place it on their body, and correctly and ethically put the animal down with minimal suffering. That was something that I learned. And I will tell you this, I cried over every deer that I shot, every antelope, it doesn't matter what it was. When I shot them, I cried. But I learned to do the deed, cleaning them, the preparing them, the skinning them. My dad taught us kids how to dress them out, cut them up, put them in the freezer. We had meat because we had to rely on that. But then the bug bit me, like I was saying about the firearms. I could take most any firearm that was in workable condition. I didn't say perfect condition, I said workable condition, and make a shooter out of them. Minimal, mainly cleaning, making sure everything functioned properly. With that being said, I could mechanically, because my mechanic side of it, like I said, and then let's get into this real quick. After high school, I went into auto mechanic school here in Montana and made it through 2 semesters. I didn't get to finish it out, but I wished I would have. That's another story down the road. But so my mechanical capabilities was there. Not perfect, but very, very good. So back to the firearms. I could take them apart, put them back together, clean them up, make sure everything was functioning safe, safe on the safe side. Never something questionable to where it was unsafe for anybody to pick up and use. I would never, ever, ever. Because that's one thing that was taught to us. If you can't do it safe, don't do it, period. So that's been my life on that. So I got into precision reloading. If anybody knows what precision means, you'll understand that it's safe, like there again, best that you can do in the safety side. There again, if you can't do it safe, don't do it. But to take an old beater, clean it up, and then fit the ammo and custom design the ammo in a safe manner. I'll keep saying that word, so please be kind and bear with me on that. And make them accurately shoot. I mean, sometimes you can't get them perfect, but you can get them so stinking close that they work. And anybody can pick them up, use them, and on a hunting trip, safely and ethically shoot an animal with it. I do not like firearms that wound them or using the wrong caliber and wound an animal, have it suffer, and not function correctly. And I mean, you don't, a young child just going out on their first hunt doesn't want to wound an animal and then have to spend the rest of the day trying to catch that, track the animal down. Because what happens? Next season, dad comes and says, "You ready to go hunting? Let's go get our licenses." Well, Dad, I don't think I want to do that this year because that was work last year. Took us forever to find my animal. That instills something that I have felt strong in my heart about the ethical side of hunting. And I will say this, I hunt only for food only, not just for the sport. The sport of it to me is the communing with nature, getting out there, the stock. And then because the kill hurts me, because I had to kill something for the food. I don't like that part of it. But I do eat everything I shoot. I do not, unless it's just varmint hunting, gophers, prairie dogs, animals that destroy property. Now that we do take care of, coyotes, foxes, that's a different story. But in the reality of it, rabbits, squirrels, deer, antelope, elk, moose, sheep, goats, it doesn't matter. When you shoot them, it's in the intentions to eat them only. And if I don't need the food to survive in my own family situation today, I don't have to go hunting. I love it. I love to commune with it, and I'll go with other people and enjoy it and enjoy the stock and communing with nature and being out there. I love it. But if I don't need the food, I'm not going to waste the food. You let somebody else have the chance to fill their freezer. I fill my freezer with wild game to supplement our income and our meat intake for the year. It's very healthy meat. So let's get off of that. With my reloading in precision, I love what they call the one hole shots at a given distance. I'm not one of those 1,000-yard, 2,000 yards, mile shooters. That's your own thing if you like doing that. That's not me. I like anything 500 yards or less, preferably less than 100 yards if all possible. So I do a lot of stalking, flat land. I can't do a lot of, because of my health, I can't do a lot of hiking up the mountain, down the mountain, back up the mountain, back down the mountain to get to my vehicle. I can't do a lot of that. So it's a lot of flat land hunting, river hunting, that type of thing, whitetails, few antelope, and what occasion I get to go elk hunting, which I haven't. I've been in Montana for most of my life. I mean, I lived in a lot of states, but Montana's been more home than any place. I never have gotten an elk yet, even though I've been eating tag soup for the last couple of years on my elk tags. Kind of frustrating, but so be it. So with that being said, and with my passion for that, kind of got off the subject a little bit, what I was really on here for. My passion, let me get into this. I love woodworking. I'm not as good as some people, but I'm capable with my mechanical side, goes into my woodworking side. I love it. I can build things, I can modify things, I can fix things wood-wise, even whatever type of furniture that you want to say. I'm fairly decent at it. I don't say that I'm the best or I'm good. I just do it. And most of the time it comes out pretty good. So let's then wander into why I'm here. YT, YouTube, Fight Club, say it correctly. Why I'm here today to say this. I thank you folks for putting up my rant and raving here and my constant showing you one thing or another, and my little mod pipes that I built from trash out of my yard, my wood trash, I should say, my branches and an apple tree, cherry tree, and my willow tree, and I got some cottonwood that I might harden and try to make some more pipes. And I'm going to try my hand at radiator pipes because I think they're kind of cool when you kind of custom hand make radiator pipes. I got one in the works. I just got to find me a piece of briar or a piece of cherry wood, or I don't know where I'm going to find that here. Walnut. I can find walnut. I can probably find some oak. I need some extremely tight grained oak or mahogany, something a hard wood to make my radiator pipes. I got something in the works now. I'm not going to show yet until I get there and see if it works out. So I'm partially into it. But here's what it is. I enjoy working with my hands and doing that stuff. That's what I'm getting at today. I put what little talent that I have forth the best way that I can. So here's another one. Here again on eBay, saw a pipe that was in miserable shape. I didn't, the person that represented it misrepresented it, I should say. They kind of hid things on it. So when I got it, no big deal. They got me for what money I spent. I spent more than I should have on it because I overbid on it, obviously, to get it, which either here or there, I got it. Okay. It looked like, oh, this is the funny part of it. It looked like somebody took house paint, believe it or not, regular old house paint. It could have been model paint. I don't know. It had a little bit of a gloss shine to it. And they painted 90%, 95% of the pipe with that paint. And I thought that was just when you can't get sometimes very good views off of the websites that are selling these things, get a good view of them. And so sometimes buyer beware. No big deal. Now, I made the mistake. This is one of my first, what I want to start saying right up front is a resto. I restored this pipe to my standards, my likings. Mistake that I made is when I got down, because I worked the paint off of it to not ruin the actual exterior of the pipe. So I used a little bit of chemical that brought up the paint, thank God, and it came off really nice. Started buffing it out, cleaned it up, got it down to the bare natural wood. You come to find out, it did say cherry wood right on it, stamped right in it. It had the manufacturer's name stamped right on it. Fantastic. Here's my mistake. Got to cleaning it up a little bit more, start to polishing out the wood so I could finish the wood out, restain it, or dye it, but I stained it actually. And sure enough, I took the most important things off the pipe, those two things, cherry wood and the manufacturer. Screwed it up. But that's neither here nor there. It was a messed up, goofed up. It's my pipe. I probably will never sell it, depending on what happens down the road here. Probably never will. Cleaned up the stem. Had to do some little bit of shank work, or tenon work, I should say, on the stem to swell out the stem a little bit so it would fit the whatever the shank or this. Anyway, the stunnel is the pipe, but anyway, the reason why I'm saying I went through all that process, learned some things from some people, made some mistakes, went back, corrected them, vice versa. Okay, when I got done with it, I was pretty proud of it. At that point in time, I didn't have anything to try to make a high gloss. Sometimes I like to make high glosses on them and that type of stuff. But in that process, I finally found a source that I could order our new way. I didn't know anything about white diamond to start with, or go through the stages of buffing them out, getting them to the point, and then at the end, then use the carnauba to seal everything off and put your final shine on. If you want a high shine, finish them however you want. You can just leave them natural. You guys know. You guys know the gamut. I didn't rusticate or anything because I haven't done one. I'm eventually going to build my own rustication tools, and we'll get there eventually. But what I'm leading up to, within the last year and a half of things that have happened in my life, now I'm not working, obviously. I've been kind of semi-medically retired. You YouTubers, I got to say it, you pipe community, come on. I got to do the shout out right now. You have taught me, kept me going, kept my mind sound. But my wife is great. She's my backbone, my support. She does support me. We have a great, great, great relationship. And I love that. I love her. But let's get to what I'm getting at here. You guys have taught me so much, and I got bit by the bug again. Let me put it this way. I got bit by the bug. I ordered for a few months. I ordered a crap load of bid it on a bunch of pipes off of places that I shouldn't have, and I did. So I got a lot of them that I've got to go through it eventually and clean them. I mean, I did the basic reaming on them. I knew to do that. I did the, clean on them so they're sanitized for me. I'm not saying anything bad about anybody, but you never know. So you go through the process of sanitizing your stems and cleaning the pipe, reaming them, so you can. Now I don't like taking them down to the bare materials in them because sometimes you can ruin them. I take them back down as close as I can without taking everything out. Then I break them in, or if I decide I need to mud them because of whatever I find in them. And I've done a few muds. You guys have understood that. So I'm learning from everything, going through the process of keeping my sanity here with this, besides being a house husband and doing what I need to do, cooking and cleaning and washing and, typical household things that need to be kept up every day, whether we think so or not. As you can see behind me, this housekeeping behind me hasn't happened yet, but I need to get to that. So I make this in kind of a office studio since I'm starting to get into this. But here's another thing. Back to where I was at. Back to my cherry wood pipe that I was talking about. Here's my first attempt to take a real pipe without making it myself. Cherry wood that I wished I'd have known. There's Pumpkin behind me, if you guys can see her. She's wondering what in the world I'm doing and listening to me and perk up every once in a while when I say her name. But anyway, Cameo by the dog. I've got two of them. The other one's probably on the bed sleeping. But this is what I wanted to show you. If this thing will focus correctly, there we go. This has some nice graining in it, straight type graining. It's not a lot of bird's eye or anything like that, but it's a fantastically good pipe. Like I said, that was covered in house paint, model paint. I don't know what paint, which is this semi-type gloss type paint that somebody, and it was jet black. I can tell you that, or whatever you want to call it, black. I'm not sure about that on that, but you can see on the, let me get it up here, on the front of it, the difference in the color, because that's the natural graining in the coloring in it. I didn't do anything to that except put the natural, a little bit darker cherry wood stain on it. Yeah, neighbor's dogs start barking. The dogs have to go look out the window. They get on the couch and look out the big picture glass window to see if there's anybody out there, or if there's an animal out there. And I don't see nothing out my side window here that I've got, a room window. But back to where we were. This is nothing but a cheap cherry wood. I'm sure it wasn't expensive originally when it was factory made or whoever made it. But it did have, like I said, the manufacturer on it, and did have cherry wood on it. But unfortunately, I learned a lesson. Don't take that stuff off. If there's a way to save that, save it. But I hope you can see the contour of it there. I don't want to lose what I've got packed in it, because I'll get to that here, because I'm going to do my housekeeping with it here. I put a softy bit on it after I polished out, go through the grits, and I did put a little bit of light coating of Carnauba on the outside of it. I know it's going to dull a little bit, but I can just run the buffer, my hand buffer over it, because unfortunately I don't have that capability yet to have a regular buffer. I got to get that set up in my basement eventually, in my little work area where my reloading room is, and all that. Sorry about that, folks. something bugging me in this peripheral vision. I can't say peripheral. Excuse me for screwing that up, but I hope you guys can see it. Now, where the shine comes in, because that was just a personal preference messing around with this, is I don't know how many coats. I mean, yes, I used a little bit of Danish cherry wood, a little bit darker cherry wood color, and that's just the color it came out. Now, it should have been more redder color, but it didn't. It turned a walnut cherry wood type color. And I put on top of the walnut Danish oil, I put just a 1 or 2 coats, not much. There we go back to my marine grade, because the marine grade tung oil has the capability of keeping moisture from impregnating the wood, and that's just what I do on that. And then the rest of it, to get the shine out of it, because there was no real shine on this whatsoever. Carnauba. I carnauba the living out of that thing. I don't know how many coats, because I didn't keep track. And the funny thing about it is, I put another coat on it this morning, just because it sat on top of my roll top desk to the point where the dust had got on it, to the point. So I wiped all the dust off, cleaned everything off of it, just put another coat of carnauba on it, and buffed it out again, just for the pure heck of it. Just, that's the natural shine of that with the carnauba. Carnauba is a great wax as far as I'm concerned. I learned something when I started using that stuff, that I tried everything else to get a shine on these things. Nothing would work. But like I said, I've learned some things from you folks on how to use white diamond and a few other products, and then go to your carnauba for your final buff out. That's the reason why I do need to get the triple set of buffing wheels eventually, with a buffer system, the larger buffing wheel, so I can do this correctly. Because I kind of want to get into this. I mean, I probably got, believe it or not, like I was saying on one of my previous videos, enough pipes, if I really truthfully wanted to, probably get close to a year's smoke one at a time. And I still probably going to have some more pipes coming. Kind of ridiculous. I got caught by the wife when she one day called me from her work, just livid. Said, you know how much money you have spent through my pay service? Because she figured out how to get there, which is not a problem. She knew how to get there anyway, but she just got curious one day. I found out over several months, it's like, oh my God. Yeah, I got nailed. So I slowed her way down. Yes, I'll buy one every couple months down the road, find something I like, because I like, there's a few guys out there that I want to support, and I want to get their pipes just for my collections, not for an everyday smoker type pipe, but my collection. And then, like I said, I got to go through these, restore them, or just clean them up, get them to where they're good smokable pipes, and maybe then turn around and resell some of them that I know that I'm period not going to smoke, because just generally. There's the dog again, making her appearance. But neither here nor there. I just, back to where I was. I appreciate the YouTube Pipe Club community. They've taught me a lot. They got me interested in something. And this is my own personal VR to whoever's out there on what got me into this. Probably back in somewhere in the 80s, way before I got on YouTube. Didn't have a computer or anything for quite a few years. I came from high school where there was no computers. We didn't get computer class. We got typing class. We didn't get computer class to learn our typing and all that stuff. So I never got in. immersed into that until later years. Now, as the choo-choo train crashed and derailed, my mind went with it. So, but you guys got me interested in this. But like I said, going back to the 80s, I picked up a meerschaum, little tiny, one of those little miniature meerschaums that you find and walk through most malls or stuff. They got a little tobacco shop in them or whatever, brick and mortar type shops. Tinderbox. Actually, this wasn't Tinderbox. I'm sorry. Tinderbox was years ago when I bought my first ever pipe tobaccos. 7Cs or North Seas. I think it was North Seas that I bought. I don't know who manufactured it. I don't even have any information. I have to go back and see if they even still sell it. I had another one that the label, because I left them in the plastic bags. Believe you me, I very green, dumb, didn't know anything about it. I just picked up a couple of pipes, little tiny briar pipe from Italy. I don't even know who makes it, but neither here nor there. I picked up a couple pipes, thinking they were kind of cool. Picked up a little meerschaum that I have. I still have it. I still have the carrying case for it. The little meerschaum cases that everybody gets. Never smoked it yet. I don't know if I ever will smoke it. Neither here nor there. So that's where I started on this. A little history about what got me into this. I quit smoking altogether. Got out of it. Decided, yeah, I don't want to have the bother. I don't want the medical problem because, like I said, I developed my own cancer from my esophagus from acid reflux. Anyway, so there was my cancer story. So I got out of the smoking for I don't know how many years. I'm talking about. I got out of smoking. I'm assuming about 34 years ago. I quit smoking anything. Cigars, cigarettes. I quit cigarettes cold turkey. Picked them up one day, smoked them because of peer pressure, high school, that type of thing. Laid them down. A few years after that, never went back to them. Just one day threw them out. Said, I'm not doing this no more. I just don't want it. I don't like it. I don't like the smell. I don't like the what it's doing to me. So I quit. Okay. Let's fast forward to, I would say, almost 2 years now, even going through the cancer treatment and everything at that same time. I made it through the cancer treatment. So far, I'm clear. Thank God, and I give the glory to the man that got me through it. I've been through several surgeries, but the cancer stuff, that was the nastiest, as far as I'm concerned. Even open heart surgery to me is not that I've already had. I've had whatever. I had 5 arteries bypassed in my chest, so I had open heart. But I'm not crying about that. I'm just saying that. So after this last stint with surgery, 14 to 15 hours, somewhere in there was approximately surgery. I was bored because I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't do anything. I was out of work. I mean, I was on leave from work before I had to completely back out of it. That's another story. But with that being said, I started watching YouTube with you folks. I bumped across because I didn't know all the channels and all the different groups and all the different everything that's out there. I had no clue. I just started randomly going through these. I was watching some kind of yucky stuff. What I'm talking about, medical yuck. And one day I bumped across something that was about pipes and the pipe community. I've been what I consider when I said back there about approximately 2 years. Well, it has been. But what I'm saying is, I didn't know there was the largest community that we have around the world, one of the largest communities out there of people that love this hobby. I'm going to say this passion of a hobby. Unless you're addicted to nicotine in that particular type of situation, which I don't think that I am yet, and I hope God I never become. It's just a occasional one bowl, maybe twice, 3 times a week. Sometimes it's been a little bit more because of you guys, and I'm trying to do a little bit of YouTube in here, broadcasting. But with all this being said, is like I said, when I bumped across this, the bug bit me. I started figuring out, oh, there's videos out there. So I pulled out my little meerschaum, thinking I might break it in. Okay, but I also found that I had a little, and I can grab it real quick. Grab these two little ones just to show you. Take but a second. I found that I had a little corn cob. Now this is so dry and brittle. I did put some stuff on it to try to revive it just a little bit. I didn't want it to. So you can see it's a. Can't even say it. It's got a nasty. How that happened, but I got to go through here and do house cleaning on and dusting and everything. Like my wife calls them, dust collectors. That's all they are. They're not Dr. Grabo, whatever. It's one of those, what I call dime store, convenience store, nickel and dime, whatever stores you walk in there, country stores, and there you go. Let me see if I can do this because I want you guys to really see this, because this was 30 some odd years ago that I picked this up. Never smoked it. As you can see, it is a clean bowl. See the stem down there? It's not a Missouri meerschaum by any shape, manner, form, which is fine. As old as this thing is, I may never smoke it. This little briar, I know you can't see that, but I will put a little bit of light on a subject, let's say, or just had it. There we go. Has had a crap load of smoking out of it. Here comes a little bit of my mistakes. I have cleaned this virtually every time that I smoked it down to almost to the natural briar every time. I never let it get totally, however you say that, never broke it in. You know, you go 5, 6, 7, 8 times, then clean a little bit of the stuff out of it. Always leaving a layer in there no matter what. Just naturally cleaning it. So, a few months ago, learning from, here again, the YouTube community on how to break them in, on how to clean them properly. I've gone through, I don't know, just about everybody on YouTube does a video of some shape, manner, form on how to do that. So with that being said, also, I finally, a few weeks ago, broke it in, and I've just left it alone ever since. Got to get, it's only had 2 or 3, maybe 4 smokings through it, so it doesn't have anything really built up in it. But it eventually will. I learned something from another gentleman the other night, and I'll get into that some other time. But back to what I'm finally getting at. all in a nutshell. You know, it's taken forever. I thought I was going to be on here short, but I made it too long. Here's the thing: getting in here with you YouTubers, learning this stuff, started doing this, starting to get more comfortable being in front of this. I said, well, let me figure this out. And this has only been approximately 3 weeks ago, believe it or not. 3 weeks ago, I sat down and did my first, what I call test video. I put it out there asking people to just go through and did it work, because I'm green to this YouTube broadcasting side. I don't have an actual, whatever they call that, account with to do the better broadcasting. I'm just using the Hang, whatever they call it, account right now, Hangout, excuse me, to get by, because I didn't want to pay for a program, or I tried to download a couple different ones, but I could never get them to work right. So I just went back to the Hangout, and that's what I'm going to use until one of these days I get another camera, or somebody gets with me eventually and shows me how to do podcast, broadcasts, whatever you want to call it, from a different program. So I can do better quality, better editing, stop editing, you know what I'm saying? So I can edit, all that stuff. But with that being said, the camaraderie, that the people that pay it forward to each other, has taught me so much. And I still keep saying that we need to pay it forward as much as we can. We need to keep everybody in our prayers that are having problems out there. I think that's the best thing that we can be doing. But here's my point in a nutshell that I'm kind of rambling on. 3 weeks that I've been finally figured it out and been broadcasting. 3 full weeks. And I'm past 100 subs. I don't know what I'm going to do for it. What shout outs I haven't figured that out yet. I'm going to let it, I've got to sit down and really, 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 really figure out, am I going to do a draw or not, a giveaway? I don't know. I think that I am. But please bear with me, folks. You know, I've said this down the road on a couple videos back. I don't know where it was and when it was, but I said I might do something, and I still am going to do something, because I appreciate all of the subs that I've gotten so far. It amazes me. Only 3 weeks, and I'm surpassed 100 subscribers already. Fantastic. I got to say this shout out, and I hopefully within the next few days I'll figure out what I'm going to do for my giveaway. And I don't want to tell anybody what I'm thinking of, because obviously I'm going to have to be making something, or something that I've already made, and be able to pass it on, pass it forward, whatever the case may be. I'll figure it out and get that going as soon as possible. But it's amazing the family that we have in the YouTube community, the pipe community. That I'm 3 weeks and I'm already surpassed 100. And that just blows my mind and is amazing. I've never would have thought of that. I just, when my channel started moving along with my rant and raving like I'm doing right now, that I never even thought about how many subscriptions. I was just wanting to let everybody know who I am and what I'm about, and unbelievable, amazing. Then I found out you guys started talking about subs and start doing your VRs and your pass it on giveaways and all that stuff. That's when I go, wow, I need to check into what's going on here, because I didn't, at the very first when I started doing videos, I mean, right from the word go, I didn't understand it. I'm green, new to this side of it is what I'm saying. The watching part of it, I've been doing that for years, obviously. Been doing that for a long time. So to be within 3 weeks and be over 100 subs is fantastic and amazing. And the hobby, this one, I don't think is going to stop unless the good Lord says I have to stop because of my health or whatever the case may be. I don't know. We'll see. But at this point in time in life, I'm enjoying this. You can see, and I'm sorry that I got off track with everything here. Housekeeping, like I said, a little cherry pipe. I pre-lit it, so and it's drawing really good, but I'll let it go out just to start this on video. I already tamped it, so this is just a basic relight, so hopefully it'll stay lit. I'm sure it will. Like I said, the draw on this is great after I fixed the tenon on the stem side. Got that to where it was tight enough to give me an excellent draw. That was the main problem with it. It was so loose when I got it that basically the stem and the tenon would fall right out of the. Somebody's going to have to correct me and tell me what that's called. Stunnel, I think, is the bowl part of the pipe, and then the shaft or what, I'm sorry, the airway part, and then the stem, obviously, with the tenon. I apologize. I just don't remember what that's called. And here we go again. Every time I get on screen, yeah, it's slowly loosened up a little bit from the relight, I mean the first light and relight. In no way was my intentions to be on here so long today. Sorry, Dad. I hope I don't lose people because of that. But like I said, the little cherry that I restored. And then like I said, this had nasty cake in the inside of it too. Not super bad, but nasty cake. So here we go back to my stuff flip. Inexpensive, because where I'm getting it from, pipes and cigars, most of it, is this one right here. There's my homemade label again for my jar. This was 10 ounces when I bought it. And pipe went out, but I'll get it relit. And so I bought these jars because I like cellaring them in these. I used the blimpifiers, Zeppelin blimpifiers, to put in them to keep the moisture level at a decent level, because I don't have a humidor or any way to control them other than doing that. Put this down right here for now. I'll put it back in my spot. And I like the stuff with flavors. They're great. I don't know what's all in that one. I've never really researched a lot of that. I'm sure I read it quickly and that. But this already had a nice, when I brought it down to that, I left a good layer, not a heavy by any means. Like I said, just above the wood, left whatever layer. And I think I made the mistake of back when like I said, kind of green at this back when I first started. And I got this one because I didn't have anything to use to do things with it. I think I run a little bit of, what was it? Hot damn. There you go. I ran snops thinking that, because somebody mentioned using, whiskey, alcohol with some sort of pretty healthy whiskey. And so it took the cake buildup and made it kind of a, unfortunately, a gooey paste. Not tremendously bad, but bad enough. So I wiped it out. and it created a nice layer left behind. I was surprised at what it actually did. So breaking in the pipe is going to be tremendously easy, I'm assuming, because this is the inaugural smoke on it since I restored it. That's a smoky, good restart. But the stuff with it's pumpkin spice, or I go again saying pumpkin. That's my dog. So, like I said, here goes a good smoky. And I don't understand why it went back out again, but not a problem. I know I don't have it overpacked. This one I didn't overpack this time, but there we go. A little bit of rant about this and about you YouTubers that have got me getting by the bug, getting me going here. I mean, this sucker was nothing when I got it, but virtually to most people would have been throw it out type junk. Wish I'd have kept the information on it, but sorry, didn't do that. And if anybody happens to maybe, I'm not asking, I'm just saying if you do want to think you might know anything about it, that's perfectly fine. But it's chooching right along right now. Yeah, it's going to, I think, stay lit this time. But there again, I am going to do something because I've made it to 100. That's an accomplishment. You know, I see these people, some people that have only been on here a real short time. Yep, in the numbers that I cannot believe, which amazes me. And hopefully one of these days I'll be up there. But that's not my concern. My concern is the community that we have. Support each other, watch our videos every day, keep track of what's in life, what you guys explain, home life and your personal. I enjoy that. Sometimes, yeah, some people's contents are a little boring, but that's neither here nor there. It's what they got on their mind for the day. So we muddle through it, watch them, and then we go, wow, there was something in that that did help me today. If one of your reviews or your Yabo openings or whatever the case may be, your personal situation at home, you explain things and you get it out there in the community, please pray for me. I've been in the hospital or I've been sick, whatever the case may be. That's what it's all about, taking care of each other and paying it forward. So I appreciate your time listening to me rant. Like I said, I will get my mind wrapped around it, let everybody know what I'm going to be doing for it. I'm kind of got an idea, you know, hatching in my brain. It's hopefully the next couple days I can get it figured out and get it going for everybody. And then I'll let everybody know what I'm going to do. So I appreciate it. Thank you, folks. Please keep track of me. Please keep praying for me. Please keep praying for our community. And I love everybody. God bless. Thank you. And have a wonderful week. Sunday is the start of the week, obviously. We don't go by our work schedule. You know, yeah, we always say, well, today's my Friday, which is maybe be a Monday or a Wednesday, whatever day it is. But actually, Sunday is the start of what we call calendar week. So let's have a good week out there. And there again, I appreciate everybody and love you all. Thank you.